day off.
Well, fortunately, yes. Great. Okay, my friend. So, this week, well, this class, it's going to be the second class of the week, number 7. So it's going to continue with the topic of yesterday. Yesterday, we were talking about dates. Yeah, remember that we were describing what happens on Independence Day, what happens on Christmas Day, what happens on Halloween, what happens on different things, right? On different dates. And especially what the people do after or before other different actions, right? So we were using time adverbs in order to describe what happened in different moments, right? And finally, at the end of the session of yesterday or yesterday's session, we talk about the tag questions, right? And the tag questions were an instrument that we use for asking the opinion of the other person, or if the other person agree or disagree with me, right? Do you know what's the meaning of agree or disagree, Nico?
Yes, teacher, when do you approve a situation, action, or something similar?
Exactly. Good. So in this case, my friend, when we talk about agree or disagree, well, it means estar de acuerdo o en desacuerdo, right? But in English, it doesn't require the verb to be. Yes, it's just agree or disagree. No, I am agree. No, just I agree or I disagree with the person. Ready?
Okay.
That take us to the topic of the coincidence, right? When we have coincidence, it's because we agree on something or we have the same opinion than the other person. So there is a coincidence on, or there is, yes, like a match on our opinions, right? Or, of course, I can use it also for describing coincidence in other different things, not only in my opinions, right? But for example, if we do the same thing for a celebration, that is a coincidence, right? For example, in my case, I have a small party with my friends and my family on my birthday. And you said that you too. So there is a coincidence, right? So in this case, we're going to start this class with this video. This video is actually pretty simple. It's short. And the idea of the video is that we're going to listen to two women that meet each other in a cafeteria and they start having a small talk, a small conversation. Listen to them, and tell me what is the coincidence between them two. Yes, try to understand what is the coincidence between the two women. Okay.
Billy!
Okay.
Billy! What a coincidence to see you here. What are you doing here today?
Hi, Jade. I always come on Tuesdays to have lunch with my best friend after classes.
No kidding. So do I. Well, I always come with my sister. She's been taking dancing lessons at the university all semester.
Really? I have two. What is her name? Maybe I have met her already.
She's Camille. There she is.
Oh, sure. I've seen her in class.
I know. She has seen you too. She has mentioned you once or twice, but I wasn't sure it was you.
Well, I didn't know she was your sister either. I don't find many similarities.
Neither do I, but Mom swears we are sisters.
I would like to have lunch with you another day. Not today because I can't stay long.
I can't either. I have to take Camille home, but I will come to the campus next Friday.
I will too. Maybe we can get together then.
I'd love to. See you next Friday.
Okay. So what do you think? Did you get the coincidence, or would you like to watch it again?
Can I watch again, please?
Sure, of course. Let's watch it again. So, of course, as you could see, there are many coincidences. There is not only one coincidence a lot, but there are going to be many coincidences between the two women, right? So try to find what are all the coincidences that they have, or all the actions that they do similar, well, with her and with her sister too, no? Because there is also the inclusion of their sister, which is Camille, right? So let's listen again and try to find out which are all the coincidences between the three women.
Billy! Billy! What a coincidence to see you here. What are you doing here today?
Hi, Jade. I always come on Tuesdays to have lunch with my best friend after classes.
No kidding. So do I. Well, I always come with my sister. She's been taking dancing lessons at the university all semester.
Really? I have two. What is her name? Maybe I have met her already.
She's Camille. There she is.
Oh, sure. I've seen her in class.
I know. She has seen you too. She has mentioned you once or twice, but I wasn't sure it was you.
Well, I didn't know she was your sister either. I don't find many similarities.
Neither do I, but Mom swears we are sisters.
I would like to have lunch with you another day. Not today because I can't stay long.
I can't either. I have to take Camille home, but I will come to the campus next Friday.
I will too. Maybe we can get together then.
I'd love to. See you next Friday.
Okay, very good. So in that case, we have Jade on one side and Billy on the other side. She, this little girl, is Jade, and the other woman, the other woman, this is Billy. Ready? So what is the first coincidence that they have together?
She's going to have a lunch with her best friend.
When? Do you remember when?
And no, I don't remember when.
So they
Teacher,
both.
on Tuesday?
Yeah, good, Camilo, excellent. On Tuesday after class, right? And the other woman says, I, no way, no kidding. So do I. Yes. What is the meaning of the expression no kidding? No kidding. What is the meaning of that expression?
Como no de ese tipo.
Like, really? No kidding. Oh, no, no digas, right? Really?
Okay.
Right. So, and then she says, so do I, right? Here we start checking that for describing coincidence or for describing that there is a coincidence between the actions, we can use the expression so. Yes, one of the options that we're going to study today. Good. What is the next coincidence between them both? Or what is another coincidence between them both? Any ideas?
No, teacher.
No?
No.
I remember something. This girl have a sister, and she comes to her class, but Billy is in the same class with
That
the sister.
Very good, Nico. Yes. So the sister of Jade, who is Camille, yes, she takes dancing lessons in the same class than than Billy, sorry. Yes. So in that case, she says, ah, no way. Seriously? I have to. Ready? So again, once another possibility to describe coincidence, it's two. In this case, she says, ah, really? I have two. I have, and the expression two. Ready? Other option for describing a coincidence when we have the same, or when they are doing the same action, right? After that, yes, well, she said that, okay, see, Camille, I have seen her, and she says, okay, well, that Camille has seen Billy also in class, no? So she says, she has two. Okay, very good. Now she says, I wasn't sure that she was your sister because I don't find any similarities between you both. And then Jade says, you know what? Neither do I. Neither do I. So neither, what is the meaning of neither? Do you know?
Poco.
Tampoco. So she says, vea, yo tampoco. Neither do I, right? Even if you don't believe it, in that case, neither, it's going to be another way to describe coincidence, right? Because in this case, Jade, doesn't find any similarities. And Billy doesn't find any similarities either, or neither, right? So in that case, that is another difference. Well, also, in this case, she says that she can stay long Ready? So she says, ah, bueno, I have to go. I can't stay long. And then Jade says, I can't either, right? I can't either. Well, guys, what is the meaning of either?
Tampoco
Is the same?
es the
It's
same.
the same. Bueno, there is going to be a synonym. It's going to be similar, but there is going to be a little difference between these expressions. Ready? So today we're going to work on these expressions as well as others that we use in order to describe coincidence. Ready? Coincidence, it's as we said, when there is a like two actions that are the same, or two opinions that are the same, or two people who are doing something similar or the same, right? So in that case, I am going to have a coincidence. Ready? Bueno, we're going to continue with a short image here. And with the image, I'm going to ask you, what do you normally do on Halloween, guys? Halloween, it's a day when what happened in your lives? I mean, personally, what do you normally do on Halloween?
Teacher, walk in the streets.
Really? Seriously? At night? I
Uh,
suppose?
uh, yes. Yes.
Well,
In the tonight,
mhm.
in the night, around of stores with a lot of people.
Okay, very good. So Halloween, it's a night when, for example, in that case, I walk
Mm-hmm.
around the street, at night. Not in the night, at
Ah,
night.
okay,
Very
at
good.
night. Yeah.
Very good. And around the stores and so on. Bueno, as a matter of fact, yes, actually, I do the same thing. I go with my wife. We use usually like a mask or something, and we walk around the stores. Maybe we eat something like a pizza or something like that. But so I do the same. So in this case, when Camilo says, teacher, Halloween, it's a night when I walk around the street, I said, really? My friend, me too, right? What is the meaning of me too?
Yo
Yo
también.
también.
Yo también, right? So it's going to be another different way mm, to show or to show that we agree on that we do the same activity, right? Yes. Mr. Nicholas, what do you normally do on Halloween, my friend?
Well, I go out to the neighbors and how can I say, pedir?
Ask for it.
Ask for candies, and then I go to the parties with my friends or something similar.
Okay, so in that case, Nicholas does something different. He asked for candy. Candies no tiene plural, just candy. O sea, el plural va a ser igual, candy, right? Just so Nicholas asks for candy and then he goes to the party. But it is something that I don't do. In this case, we do not agree with Nicholas because he does something like very fun and going to party. And I don't ask for candy because I cannot eat so much candy and I don't like to go to party. So that is something that I don't do. So in that opinion, I would have to say, really, I don't, right? First showing that in this case, I disagree with Nicholas. I don't do the same thing that he does. There is no coincidence between his actions and my actions on Halloween, right? And my dear Jennifer, what do you normally do on Halloween, dear?
Hello, teacher. In Halloween, I give sweets or candies in my job to children.
Okay, very good. Recuerda que candy no tiene plural, solo candy. I give candy to children. Okay, very good. What is your job, my dear?
I work at Universidad Pedagógica Nacional,
No
but the
way.
students no sé cómo decir, llevan a los niños, los hijos o los funcionarios llevan a los hijos y hacen como un evento así donde los chicos van disfrazados y
They
nosotros
have
como trabajadores les damos dulces.
Great, excellent. Of course, yes, I have listened about it because, of course, I had friends in the pedagogical university, so I used to remember those kind of activities. Very nice, very good, excellent. Well, in that
Yes.
case, yes. Oh, wait, good. Okay. So in that case, that is something that I don't do because first, I don't work in the pedagogical university, and second, I don't give candy to children in the school in my job, already. So again, I would have to say, really, I don't. Hmm? Because in that case, we do not agree on that, right? Oh, maybe another person says, "Ah, you know what, teacher? On Halloween, remember that when it's with a date, it's on, not in, but on. On Halloween, I don't wear costumes. Wait, yes, no, that's the one. That's why we don't wear costumes. Yes, it's a day when I do not wear costumes. So in that case, my dear Jennifer, do you wear costumes or not?
Maybe, um, maybe I make up my face
Okay,
or I put on in my head, ¿cómo diría una balaca esas que tienen muñequitos?
like a headband. Ah,
Like a
headband.
hand.
Mhm, mhm. Okay,
But I don't use costumes
I don't
uh,
use
in my
costume.
body, no.
Uh-huh. So in that case, well, from the options that we have here, option A, B, C, or D, how would you say, ah, no, profe, yo tampoco.
B?
Read it. So it says, really? Me neither, right? In that case, because it's negative, so she's saying like, really, no, me neither, right? But for example, Nicholas, you go to a party. Is it normally a costume party?
Yes, the last Halloween I wear a custom, only a mask, but it's something.
Good, of course, good. So in that case, how would you say, no, profe, usted no? Uy, yo sí. From the options that we have here, A, B, C, or D, how would you say, really? No, yo sí.
Really, I do.
Of course, right? So it's the opposite. So in this case, guys, we're going to have options for agreeing and options for disagreeing. Options for agreeing with positive sentences and options for agreeing with negative sentences, right? Because I can agree with something affirmative and saying yo también, or I can agree with something negative and saying yo tampoco, right? In both cases, we are agreeing. We have the same opinion that the other person, or we do the same action that the other person. And we can disagree with something negative or disagree with something affirmative. It means if I disagree with something negative, the other person says, no, yo no hago esto. In that case, if I disagree, I'm going to use the opposite option. Ah, really? Yo sí. Or if I disagree with something affirmative, when the person says, yo hago tal cosa, and I am going to disagree, I have to use the opposite form. So negative. Really? Yo no. So in that case, we're going to have all the four options there. Ready? It is going to depend on the verb that I use on the first sentence, right? Usually, I am going to have different possibilities here. I can, wait, agree. It's here, yes. I can agree here. Wait a second. No, agree here first. This is the one. Esta primero, yes. So here I can agree with an affirmative statement. Yes. It can be with simple present, both verbs. I like, I hate, I enjoy, I drink, right? Or it can be with verb to be. I am in love with, I am crazy about, I am good at, I am ready for, whatever, with verb to be. Or it can be with a modal verb. I can eat, I can cook, I can ask for candy, I can wear costumes, whatever, right? For agree, I am going to have two options. One, it's using so. The other one, it's using to. In general terms, they are exactly the same. The only that changes here is the structure. In the first one, I'm going to use so, then the auxiliary, and then the subject. In this case, the subject, it's I, because it's me who agrees with you. So depending, if it's with another verb, love, like, enjoy, do, whatever, it's going to be just so do I. But if the expression, the original expression is with verb to be, then the verb here is going to be verb to be, so am I, right? Or if it's with a modal verb, well, we use the modal verb, so can I. Remember that, for example, in the video, the woman says, I come every Tuesday to have lunch after classes. And the other person said, really? So do I. Yeah, because the person says, I come with another verb. Yeah. But if it's for example, I am in dancing classes, really? So is she, the sister, no? Camille, the other woman. So in that case, I'm gonna use so, the auxiliary, and then the subject. Usually the subject is I, but it can change, right? It can be so do I, so am I, or so can I, depending on the affirmative sentence first. Hmm? The other one, it's going to be really simple too. It's going to be just the subject, in this case, usually I, the auxiliary, do, am, or can, and to. I do too, I am too, or I can too. The one that I prefer, the one that I need require according to the expression in the initial expression. Now, which one is better between so do I or I do too? It's basically the same. Normally, these ones with so are a little bit more informal, more casual, more conversational. And this second option, it's more formal, like for another written text or in more formal context, right? So, for example, I don't know, if I am in a working meeting and my boss says, I would I would like a glass of water. A glass of water. Yes. How would you say in that case, uy, yo también? Remember that it's a formal context, it's a job meeting.
So would I?
So would I? Okay, could be if it's like with friends. But as it is in a
Okay.
working space, it would be better. I would too. Something a little bit more formal.
Mm,
Mm?
okay.
But if, for example, if it's in the house of your friends and you're the owner of the house, el dueño de la casa, the owner of the house says, I would like a glass of water. So you could say, "Oh, you know what? So would I. So would I, it's like me too, right? But in a more casual context. Ready? All of these options, so do I do too, blah, 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 it can be summarized by the expression me too. Me too, it's going to be like the easiest way to summarize all of this. Yes, so me too, it's going to replace all these six options, but me too, of course, it's a little bit informal. Well, a little bit, no, a lot informal. So in that case, me too, it's only for talking with friends, casual conversation, probably in the street, but not for formal context, right? So in that case, this expression, me too, it's really easy because it's going to replace all the rest, but it is not for every context. Yes, usually it's used in more casual conversational context. Okay? What do you think, guys? How do you feel about the six options and also me too? Easy or difficult?
Easy, but we need to practice more.
Of course, easy, but we
Yes,
need
teacher.
to. No problem. We're going to practice. Don't worry.
Yes, teacher.
Great. If we want to disagree, to have a different opinion with these sentences, I am going to use the opposite form. Yes. For example, if it's a sentence with a verb, other verbs with simple present, then the way to disagree it's like I don't, yo no, right? If it's with verb to be, I am not. Or if it's with a modal verb, I and the modal verb negative. For example, I would like a glass of water. Really? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, right? So it's the same verb, but on the opposite form. For disagreeing and saying, "verdad, yo no. I don't, or I am not, or I would not, or I can't," depending the first opinion. Ready? So in the moment that I say, for example, guys, on Halloween, I usually wear a mask. On Halloween, I usually wear a mask. Agree or disagree with me?
Agree, so am I.
So, but in that case, it's not because the verb it's wear. So what?
So I.
So do I. Very good, Nico. So do I because the verb in this case is wear. Hmm? Ready? What do you think, Cami? Do you?
Mm, yes, teacher. Um, hmm, a mask?
Yes, a mask. Only a mask.
Ahí sería. I don't.
I don't. You said, no, profe, yo no, la verdad, yo no uso máscara, I don't. That's it. Really? I don't. Usualmente esta expresión de desacuerdo está acompañada por una expresión como really, como de sorpresa, como ¿en serio? Yo no, right? O no kidding. ¿Recuerdan la que vimos? No kidding, no kidding. And then the expression of disagreement. Yes. ¿Por qué? Porque pues es como ¿en serio? Y la expresión de desacuerdo. Yo no o yo sí, depending the situation, right? This is very good. Could be so do I or I do too, depending the one that you want, la que tú quieras, or it could be simply really I don't. Muy bien. Okay? Different if I say, for example, hey, you know what, guys? Eh, I I am I am normally excited about Christmas presents. I am normally excited about Christmas presents. What do you think? Agree or disagree with me?
I am too.
Too.
Exactly, very good.
I
Uh-huh.
I love it, the Christmas.
Oh, very good. I do too. I love it too. So in that case, Jenny, Sarah, uh, I am normally excited about Christmas presents. She said, I am too, of course. Or also, so am I. No, my God, so am I. Because I love Christmas. Muy bien, very good. But for example, if a person doesn't like Christmas, is going to say, really? I am not. Yes. If it's a person who doesn't like Christmas. Hmm? So in that case, guys, depends everything on the first sentence that I listen, on the other option of the person, right? Take into account that here we are not talking about opinions. We are simply talking about things that we do in different moments. What you do on Christmas, sorry, on Halloween, what you do on Christmas, and then you are agreeing if you do the same or not. But of course, I can also use it for other purpose, like giving my opinion about something. I love it when people, no sé, I love it when people give me presents. So the other person can say, really? I do too. Or so do I, because the first verb is love, which is an opinion about something that you like, right? This depending the first sentence, I am going to use the way to agree or disagree with the person. Recuerden que esto solamente es para oraciones afirmativas. Okay? Now, we are going to go to the next part, which are come on, here, the negative sentences, right? Ya vimos las afirmativas. Now we're going to check how can we agree or disagree, but with negative sentence. In this case, it's the same. other verbs, verb to be, and modal verbs, right? Just that in that case, we are not going to have so or to. We're going to have the option with neither, yes, or the option with either or either. Both pronunciations are fine. Neither or neither, either or either. The same. And in that case, I'm going to have the auxiliary, depending of the first sentence, which in this case is negative, and the subject, usually I. Neither do I, neither am I, or neither can I, or should I, or would I, depending the modal verb. And in this case, it's similar, but there is a difference, and is that the auxiliary or the verb, it's going to be negative. So I don't either, I am not either, or I can't, or wouldn't, or shouldn't either. Yes, because in that case, the neither, it's already negative. Ya tiene la negación al inicio, but either, no. So it requires the negation next to the auxiliary or to the verb, right? That's simple. I mean, it's very similar to the previous one, to so and to, just that in that case, we use neither and either. And if we use either, the auxiliary is going to be negative, right? So for example, I said, you know what, guys? On Halloween, on Halloween, I do not go to parties because I usually have to work the next day. On Halloween, I do not go to parties. What do you think? Agree or disagree with me?
I don't either, teacher.
Exactly, very good. I don't either because he doesn't like either that, so I don't either. Yes. In this case, it's easier to recognize because here I have to use the auxiliary directly. So the auxiliary is reflected here. Easier to recognize it, right? I don't go to parties. Oh, really? I don't either. Or for example, I can use another one like saying, but this is very dark. Wait, let me just use it in green better. I am not what? I am not worried. I'm not worried about a religious meaning of Halloween. I am not worried about the religious meaning of Halloween. Agree or disagree with me?
Neither am I.
Excellent, Nico. Very good. Neither am I. Yes, like in that case, neither am I. Easier to recognize because I just have to use the same verb in this case. Oh, really? Neither am I. That's it, right? But imagine, for example, that we want to disagree with a negative opinion. Yeah. In that case, if we want to disagree, we have to use the opposite form. So it's the same auxiliary, but on the affirmative way. Example, I do, I am, or I can. For example, I'm going to say that it's only an example, but I'm going to say that I don't like December. I don't like December. It's an example, no? So agree or disagree with me. Go. I didn't listen to you, my friend. Sorry.
I do.
I do, right? So really, teacher, that's kind of strange. I do. Simply, I do for saying en serio, yo sí. Yo sí que. Well, of course, like December, no? So in that case, it's so short because I don't have to repeat all the count of the sentence. The sentence was pretty clear before, so in that case, I don't have to repeat all the sentence. Simply the first part, which is going to recognize or is going to describe that I do the action that you don't, right? Or that I am the state that you are not. So depending also on the first sentence. Got it? Also, of course, in this case, if we want to summarize it, if we want to make it easier, we're going to have the expression me neither. Me neither, it's going to be the expression that replaces all the other expressions, right? So if I say, I am on Halloween, I do not go to parties. Oh, really? Me neither. I am not worried about religious meaning of Halloween. Me neither. Yes. I don't like December. Me neither. Yes. So me neither, it's an expression that summarizes all the possibilities, but as I said before, not really formal. No, it's not for using it with your boss at your office. Probably with friends, probably at home, but not in a formal context. Okay?
It's not usual to use this expression. It's more common in general.
Me neither.
Yes.
It's common, of course, it's really common, but in casual context. Yeah, when you're talking with friends or with your co-workers in the company, but in a formal meeting, for example, if they say, no say, imagine that you are in a meeting. It's all the board of directors here. You are in the meeting, Chan, right? Right. And here the head of this is the CEO. What is the meaning of CEO?
The boss.
Exactly. Executive Officer. Es como el gerente general. The Chief Executive Officer, that is the CEO. And he says, I don't think that's a good idea. Yes. If you want to agree with your boss and say like, I know, sí, yo tampoco, yes. So it's not really common to say, bueno, boss, me neither. But in that case, it would be more proper, more adequate to use, you know what? I don't, and you know what? Even without the contraction, I do not either. Yes. Why? This is more formal, simply because of that. So the person, no, you know what? I don't either, or I do not either, right? Recuerden que contracciones y expresiones más cortas son usualmente más informales and casuales. Yes. Entonces, en contextos mucho más formales, pues generalmente hablo de manera más completa, ¿cierto? Y eso pasa también en español. En español uno va a decir, ay, ¿para qué le miento, jefe? ¿Cierto? Obvio no, right? Entonces, ese tipo de expresiones, guys, vamos a usarlas en contextos formales, perdón, en contextos casuales, de manera muy popularizada, ¿cierto? Porque es muy normal que uno escuche esas expresiones, pero siempre en contextos como digamos, de la vida diaria, ¿cierto? Con los amigos, con la familia, maybe, but not in a formal context. ¿Qué tal, guys? Hasta ahí como van. Questions, difficulties, problems.
That's clear. Thank you, teacher.
Good. Listo, my dear friend.
Easy, easy, teacher, but I need to practice.
We're going to practice more. Okay, very good. So in that case, guys, as I said before, one possibility, of course, is that we use it for talking about what we like or what we don't like. I don't like Christmas. Oh, really? I don't either. Or I do, depending if you agree or disagree. Yes. But also for coincidence, like in the example of the women of the video. In that case, they are not talking about what they like or dislike, but they are talking what they do. And according to what they do or they don't do, they are agreeing or disagreeing. For example, the woman says, I can't stay long. I can't stay, sorry, I can't stay long. Like, no me puedo quedar mucho tiempo. I can't stay long. And the other woman says, yo tampoco. How would she say yo tampoco in that case?
I can't either.
I can't either. Very good. Actually, that's exactly what she says. I can't either. Not, sabes que yo tampoco. I can't either. Yes. Or the other one says like, you know what? I don't find any similarities Similarities. Ready? And the woman says, ¿Sabes qué? Oye, yo tampoco. I don't either. Or neither do I. I don't either. Yes, or neither do I. So, in that case, no solamente para describir lo que me gusta o no me gusta y decir a mí también o a mí tampoco, but also for saying like, yo hago esto. Ah, sí, en serio, también. Yo no hago esto. Oh, really? Yo tampoco. Right? So, in that case, guys, we're going to finish today with a simple activity in which the idea, wait a second, in which the idea is that we're going to describe an action. It says think on an action that you do and you think that no, that your partners would agree with you about it, right? It might be affirmative or negative. How come? Make it related to moments, right? For example, imagine that there is a woman called Maria. So, you know what? Imagine that after I wake up, I always drink a glass of water, something that you believe that the other people also do. So the person can say, ah, really? I do too. The person is going to agree with you, right? Or for example, say, Camilo, for example, I want to tell you that I always read 20 pages of a book before I go to sleep. Of course, here we are using the time adverbs of the previous class. After, before, right? So, and the other person would agree or disagree with me. Ah, really? Oh, no, I don't. I prefer to watch TikToks, right? So, guys, using the adverbs that we saw before that are when, after, or before, think on an action on something that you do that it's pretty common and the people or the other classmates would probably agree. Yeah. And think about it and let's see if they really agree with that or not. So have 30 seconds to think about the custom, the habit that you have. Bueno, guys, okay, ready? You got it?
For example,
¿Listo?
Okay, Nico is going to go first.
just for example, I brush my teeth 3 times every day.
What do you think, guys? Camilo and Jennifer, agree or disagree with him?
Agree. Es que no escuché
He says,
el,
I I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth 3 times a day.
So do I,
yes,
teacher.
I do.
I do too, or so do I. Cualquiera de las dos. Muy bien, very
Mhm.
good. So do I, or I do too. Listo, very good, guys. Excellent. Camilo, what is your idea? What is your sentence?
Um, Maybe, for example, I think that after I arrive of work, um, I sometimes do exercise, but before of I go to bed.
Okay, very good. So when after I arrive from work, arrive from
Okay,
work.
from okay,
Mhm.
from
Okay. Bueno, agree or disagree, guys? Jennifer and Nicholas. He says, after I arrive from work and before I go to bed, I
yeah,
sometimes exercise.
In
yeah.
my
So do I, teacher.
so do I. Yes.
Yeah.
So do I.
But
Really? No, my
I
God, I don't.
work.
Okay, very.
Really?
So you exercise in the afternoon, like at 4 or 5.
Yeah. In the morning no alcanza el tiempo.
There is no time. Mhm.
There is no time.
Okay, very good. Excellent, muy bien. And my dear Jennifer, tell me your sentence. What is your idea?
Okay, teacher. In the morning, I usually practice 10 words in English before I go to job, and I repeat all day.
No, wait, again. In the mornings, I
Eh,
usually
in the
practice.
morning, I usually practice 10 words in English before I go to job.
Okay. Before I go to work, my dear, I go to work.
To work. To
Exact.
work.
Mhm. And then she repeats all day. Agree or disagree, guys? 10 words a day.
Teacher, I do too.
I do too. Yeah, pues, very good.
Yes.
And Nicholas, do you do too or you don't?
I do too. I practice with Duolingo when I work.
Okay, very good. So they practice with Duolingo, especially when they work. Okay, very good. That's right. Yes. Okay, guys. So in that case, for example, I'm going to express another one, and I would like you to agree or disagree with me. Yeah. Usually, usually after work, I can drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Cups of coffee. Usually after work, I can drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee. Agree or disagree with me, guys?
I can, teacher.
Very good. So Jennifer says, "Uy, no, teacher, 2 or 3 cups of coffee, that's too much. I can't." Right? I can't. Anybody who can, who agrees with me?
No, teacher, I can't.
That is too much, of course. No, that is only an example, right? So in this case, guys, of course, the idea is that you can listen to the other person and express if you have similar opinions that them or different opinions. But also, as you can see in this case, if the moments of your day or the actions that you do during a day or during a special celebration are similar or different, no? For example, at the beginning, we saw that we have similarities between what we do on Christmas, right? That Nicholas and me, we both use a mask. but that Camilo and me, we do not go to parties, right? So we have similarities and difference in all things, in opinions, in actions, in celebrations, and we can describe it using this kind of expression. So do I, neither do I can too, I can either, and basically me too or me neither, right? That are the both. But also we're going to find other different expressions that we can use them, such as these ones. They are not so like difficult to use. It's expression to agree. I couldn't agree more. Como no podría estar más de acuerdo. I couldn't agree more. You are totally right. I see what you mean. Like, I understand you. Me too. We already saw it. And I think the same. Pienso lo mismo. Oh, to disagree? I don't think so. I don't think so, no. I totally disagree. Absolutely not. Like with the coffee, no, like no teacher, that is too much. Absolutely not. Oh, I am not sure about it, or I have my own thoughts about it. Like, tengo mis reservas acerca de hecho, right? I have my own thoughts about it, right? So in that case, guys, we're going to have the possibility to use short expressions. So do I, so can I, da, 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 neither do I do too, all of them, or also longer expressions depending on the context. Yes. So always to express that we have similarities, coincidence, or that we have not. Ready? Guys, questions about the difficulties or problems? Anything?
No, teacher, it's clear for me. Thank you.
All fine. Great, guys. Okay, so well, thank you for the participation today. I know that it was a kind of vacation day, but you anyway came, and that is something that I would like to congratulate you for. Okay, so thank you for the participation. See you the next class. The next week, this week I am going to publish the schedules on Saturday because when the Friday it's a holiday. So on Saturday I am going to publish or to post the schedules for the next week. Okay, on Saturday morning. Ready, guys? So for the moment, that's it. Thank you for the participation and the attention, and see you the next class. Okay.
Thank you, teacher. Have a nice.
Thank you, teacher.
You too.
Okay,
Have a good
teacher.
night and
Have
Thanks
a good
for all.
night.
rest a lot. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye, guys.